Welcome back to Horoscope TV. It is absolutely fantastic to have you here with us today.
It's great to be back.
We are calibrating our instruments and pointing the telescope directly at the sign of the Archer.
That's right.
Today, we are doing an exclusive, comprehensive analysis of the February 2026 forecast, specifically tailored for the sign of Sagittarius.
Yes. And if you are a Sagittarius or you have a significant Sagittarius in your life,
A partner, a boss, maybe even a child.
exactly, you are going to want to pull up a chair and get comfortable for this one.
You certainly are.
And I think it is important to clarify right off the bat that we aren't just, reading tea leaves or guessing here.
No, not at all.
We are looking at a stack of heavy astrological data ephemeris tables, planetary transit logs, and specific degree movements for February 2026.
Right. The raw numbers.
And when you analyze that raw data, it becomes immediately obvious that this isn't just another standard month for Sagittarius.
It really doesn't look like business as usual. I was looking over the charts and the notes you prepared before we started, and the word that keeps jumping out at me is intensity. But it seems like a very specific flavor of intensity. It's not just chaotic. It feels directed.
That's a great word for it.
It's characterized by massive mental activity, some really heavy planetary shifting, and then this hyper-focus on the domestic sphere.
That is a perfect assessment. It is complex, it is energetic, and it is incredibly specific. I like to think of it as loud astrology.
Loud astrology. I like that.
There is a lot of noise in the signal this month.
Loud is a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And I think our mission for this analysis is really to help you, the listener, tune that noise.
Yeah.
We need to filter out the static so you can actually utilize this energy. Because when we talk about furniture moving in the sky, we aren't talking about a casual new moon here or there.
Yeah, where?
We are talking about generational planets shifting signs, right?
Precisely. We have to look at the precise location of the planets and the transits to understand why February 2026 feels so heavy, yet simultaneously so fast.
Okay.
There are really three main headlines, three anchor events that dictate the entire flow of the month.
Let's map those out before we get into the weeds.
Yeah.
What are the three big pillars we're building this forecast on?
Okay, so pillar number one, the solar eclipse in Aquarius. This is going to light up the communication sector in a way that is, frankly, unavoidable.
Unavoidable, okay.
Pillar number two, Saturn entering Aries. This is a massive deal.
A huge deal.
Saturn takes about 29 years to circle the zodiac, so changing signs is a headline event for the entire year, not just the month.
Right.
For Sagittarius, this acts as a crucial stabilizer.
Interesting. Okay, and pillar number three.
The domestic situation. We have a focus on the home that starts out incredibly sweet, almost deceptively cozy, and then turns tricky because of a Mercury retrograde.
Of course. So, we have a solar eclipse, Saturn changing addresses, and a Mercury retrograde, all packed into 28 days.
It is a very tight squeeze.
No wonder the charts look red hot. Let's start with the atmosphere then. If I'm a Sagittarius waking up on February 1st, 2026, what does the air actually feel like? What is the baseline vibration?
It feels electric. The data all points to one dominant theme for the Sagittarius psyche, mental activity.
Okay.
If you've been feeling stagnant, or if January felt a bit foggy or slow, that evaporates immediately. You're going to feel a surge of bandwidth.
A bandwidth surge. Like your brain just got a fiber optic upgrade.
That's exactly what it's like.
Is that purely the eclipse mechanics at work? Or is there something else driving that mental surge?
The eclipse is the main driver, undoubtedly. We are looking at February 17 for the actual event, a solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius.
Okay, February 17.
Now we have to look at the house system here. For Sagittarius, Aquarius rules the third house.
Right. And let's remind everyone what the third house covers. It's the domain of communication, siblings, the local environment.
And data processing, yes.
It's how you process information.
Exactly. It is the engine room of the mind. It's how you think, how you speak, and how you perceive the immediate world around you.
Okay.
Now, a solar eclipse is essentially a supercharged new moon. It's a reboot, a system restart.
Right.
When you have that kind of voltage hitting the third house, it's not just about sending more emails or being chatty at parties. It signifies a breakthrough in cognitive processing.
So it's less, I have a lot to say, and more, I finally understand what I'm saying.
That's a great distinction. It's an intellectual awakening. The analysis suggests you might find yourself suddenly grasping a concept that has baffled you for years.
Wow.
Or you decide, seemingly out of the blue, to start a new course of study. The data shows a high probability of Sagittarius natives enrolling in classes, learning new software, or diving into complex literature this month.
It's that aha moment.
It is. It changes how you listen to the world. But I want to touch on the other aspect of the third house, which is siblings.
Oh, right.
The charts are flashing a specific prediction here. The data suggests you might hear surprising news from a brother or sister, or perhaps a very close neighbor who feels like family.
When we say surprising, are we talking surprising good, like a lottery win, or surprising bad?
The charts are neutral on good or bad, but they're firm on catalyst. It's news that alters your plans.
Ah, so it changes something for you.
It shifts your perspective. So the big picture vibe is that your mental landscape and your immediate social circle are shifting under your feet. You're processing a lot of new data very quickly.
Okay, so the mind is buzzing, the neurons are firing, but we have to talk about the heavy hitter, Saturn.
Yeah.
You mentioned Saturn entering Aries on Valentine's Day, February 14.
Of all days.
Right. Now, usually when we discuss Saturn on the show, we're talking about restriction. Saturn is the stern teacher, the taskmaster, the planet of no.
The great limiter.
Exactly. But looking at your notes, you're framing this as a positive for Sagittarius.
It is overwhelmingly positive, but you have to understand the elemental mechanics to see why. Saturn is moving from Pisces.
Which is water.
Right. Emotional, diffuse into Aries. Aries is fire. Sagittarius is fire.
So they're speaking the same language.
They are. When Saturn is in a fellow fire sign, it forms a supportive, harmonious aspect to your Sagittarius sun. And Saturn is entering your fifth house.
Wait, let's unpack that. The fifth house is the fun house.
It is.
It's creativity, romance, gambling, children. It's the house of joy and self-expression. Putting Saturn, the planet of do your homework, into the house of let's party seems like a buzzkill. It seems contradictory.
On the surface, yes, I get that. But think about the nature of fire energy. Sagittarius has enthusiasm and abundance. You have the spark, you have the vision. But what is the weakness of fire?
It burns out, or it spreads too thin. It's scattered.
Right.
It goes everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Exactly. It wants to burn in every direction at once. It's 50 started projects and 0 finished ones.
I feel seen.
Saturn comes into that fifth house, not to extinguish the fire, but to build a fireplace.
Oh, I love that.
It provides a container. It gives form to your fire.
That is a fascinating visualization. So instead of having 5 creative ideas and abandoning them all, you pick one and you actually master it.
Precisely. This is about stabilizing creative energy. You move from scattering energy everywhere to a disciplined focus.
Okay, give me an example.
A scenario for you might be, you've been dabbling in a hobby for years, maybe painting, coding, writing a screenplay, just for fun.
Uh-huh.
With Saturn entering this sector, you decide to tune that casual hobby into a serious pursuit, maybe even a business.
So it's the difference between being a writer who journals occasionally and a writer who sits down every morning at 6 a.m. to finish the manuscript.
Yes. It is taking your joy seriously.
I love that phrase, taking your joy seriously.
And it applies to the other fifth house domain as well.
Children.
If you are a parent, or if you work with kids, you might find yourself taking on more responsibility during this transit. But because it's a supportive aspect, that fire-to-fire connection, it doesn't feel like a burden.
Right, it's not heavy.
It's not.
Yeah.
It feels like you are doing it because you are focused on what brings happiness and growth. It's parenting with a plan rather than just reacting to chaos.
That makes a lot of sense. So we have a mental breakthrough via the eclipse, and we have disciplined creativity via Saturn. Now, we have to go home.
Yes.
You mentioned the furniture moving earlier, but the charts show a literal focus on the home front this month. What is happening in the fourth house?
It's a major migration. The inner planets are piling into your fourth house, which rules home, family, and your roots.
Okay.
Mercury enters Pisces on February 6, and Venus follows right behind, entering Pisces on February 10.
Pisces is a water sign. It's emotional, it's deep, it's permeable.
Right.
What happens when that watery energy hits the foundation of a Sagittarius chart?
Well, in the first half of the month, it creates an incredibly sweet nesting vibe.
A nesting vibe. I like that.
You have Venus, the planet of beauty, affection, and aesthetics, sitting in your living room, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
The desire isn't to go out and conquer the world. The desire is to redecorate.
To make things cozy.
Make things softer, buy the throw pillows, and spend quiet time with loved ones.
This aligns with that cooking dinner at home vibe you mentioned in the intro.
Yes. The forecast specifically contrasts this with the typical Sagittarius wanderlust. Usually, the archer wants to be out exploring, climbing mountains, booking flights.
Right, always on the move.
But in early February, the pull is toward intimacy and emotional safety. It's about creating a sanctuary. You want the home to feel like a retreat from the world.
I'm sensing a but here. Looking at the timeline, there's a twist, because with astrology, there's always a twist.
There is a twist, and it comes in the form of the Mercury retrograde starting February 26.
Ah.
The tricky part is that this retrograde happens in the same sector, that fourth house in Pisces.
Oh, wow. So the very place where you were trying to find peace, where you've just bought the new throw pillows, suddenly goes haywire.
That is the central irony of February 2026 for Sagittarius. You start the month loving your home, and you end the month having to fix it.
Of course you do.
The retrograde here suggests household repairs surfacing, and since we were in Pisces, which is water energy, watch out for leaks.
Oh, plumbing issues, roofs,
Definitely.
or just misunderstandings with the people you live with.
Exactly. Domestic delays. You might buy that beautiful new couch on February 10th when Venus enters, and by February 27 you realize it doesn't fit through the door.
Oh.
Or the delivery is delayed indefinitely. Or you invite family over for that cozy dinner, and a misunderstanding blows up the conversation because Mercury isn't transmitting the signal clearly.
So what is the strategy here? If the first half is a dream and the second half is a potential headache.
The advice is crucial. Be patient with domestic delays. Do not force resolutions late in the month. If the sink breaks, obviously fix it. But don't decide to gut renovate the kitchen on February 28th. Enjoy the nesting early on, get your sanctuary set up, and then just ride out the glitches when the retrograde hits.
Got it. Build the nest early, then hunker down. Let's pivot to work and career. We've talked about the home, but what's happening in the daily grind?
Good.
You mentioned Uranus going direct on February 4.
Yes, Uranus has been retrograde in Taurus. For Sagittarius, Taurus rules the 6th house, the sector of daily routines, health, and the actual work you do day to day.
Right.
When Uranus, the planet of sudden change and electricity, turns direct, the brakes come off.
Uranus is the awakener. What does an awakening look like in your daily spreadsheet routine?
It looks like the end of boredom. The forecast explicitly calls this transit the boredom killer.
The boredom killer. I love it.
If you have felt stuck in a rut, punching the clock, doing the same tasks, feeling like a robot, that ends now. Uranus demands innovation.
So should you expect sudden changes to your schedule?
Sudden changes are almost guaranteed, and likely new assignments involving technology.
Ah, okay.
Uranus rules tech, AI, the future. You might be asked to learn a new software overnight, or you're given a problem that requires you to think outside the box.
Right.
Adaptability is the currency of the month in the workplace. If you cling to the old way of doing things, you're going to have a hard time.
And we have to connect this back to that solar eclipse we talked about, the eclipse in the communication sector. Third house, that has to bleed into career.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
This is the power of the spoken word. If you work in a field where you communicate,
Writers, teachers.
sales, marketing, even podcasting, this eclipse on February 17th is your green light.
It's the launch window.
It is. The charts scream, your ideas are fresh. Launch the website, pitch the big project, give the major presentation. The audience is ready to hear you.
Your voice has authority now.
It does.
However, I am seeing a red warning flag on the timeline for February 5. Mercury squares Uranus.
Yes, this is the warning zone. We just said Uranus is waking up and bringing surprises in the work sector. Mercury is communication. When they square off, that's a 90-degree angle, a clash. The risk is speaking too fast.
The classic foot-in-mouth moment.
Or saying something rebellious to a boss because you're frustrated with the old routine. The impulse will be to say, this is stupid, I'm not doing it.
Oh, yeah. You have to be careful there.
The advice is to check your facts before speaking. Count to 10. Do not let that Uranus impulse control your tongue on the 5th.
There is also an interesting note here about Saturn leaving the home sector. We talked about it entering the creative sector, but the fact that it's exiting the 4th house implies it was blocking something before.
That is a very astute observation. For the last 2.5 years, Saturn has been transiting your 4th house.
And that's heavy.
Very heavy.
Yeah.
It often manifests as heavy family responsibilities, feeling weighed down by domestic issues, or perhaps caring for an aging parent. It's a heavy home vibe. It can really distract from career goals because you're so tired from the domestic load.
So with Saturn leaving that sector on February 14th, that weight lifts.
It lifts significantly. Those issues fade into the background or resolve themselves, allowing you to finally focus on those creative talents and career moves we discussed. You have the mental space to work again.
But again, the late month strategy applies to work too, with the retrograde.
Yes. Due to the Mercury retrograde on February 26, do not start big new projects then. Use that last week of February to review work you've already done.
Okay, so edit, Don't publish.
Edit the manuscript, debug the code, review the strategy, don't launch.
Let's talk money. We are redecorating, we are launching websites. How is the bank account looking for Sagittarius?
The spending trend correlates directly to that Venus placement we discussed. Venus in the 4th house connects the heart to the home, but it also connects the wallet to the home.
So the temptation to buy those high-end throw pillows is high.
Extremely high. The trend is spending on beautiful things for the living space, or spending on hosting family. The charts say this brings joy. It's not bad spending in the sense of waste.
Right, it's nesting.
It is. But Venus can be indulgent. You don't want to overextend yourself just to set a nice table.
But there is some confidence coming in regarding resources, right?
On February 10th, the moon enters Sagittarius. This is a monthly reset, of course, but in this context, it brings a boost of emotional confidence in handling personal resources. You feel like you know what you're doing.
You feel capable.
Capable, yes.
And is there a lucky day? We always want to know the lucky day for the finances.
March, February 16th on the calendar. Mercury trines Jupiter.
Ooh, Jupiter.
Now, Jupiter is the ruling planet of Sagittarius, so any aspect to Jupiter is important. But when Mercury commerce, contracts, communication trines, Jupiter luck, expansion, it is a moment of pure optimism.
What could that look like, practically?
Finding a great deal on that household item you needed, receiving good news about a property matter, or perhaps negotiating a raise or a fee with ease.
Nice.
It's a moment where the finances feel expansive rather than restrictive.
But then, the end of the month arrives. I feel like we keep building up to this chaotic finale in every single sector.
The astrology of late February 2026 is undeniable. On February 27, Mars squares Uranus. This is a volatile aspect. Mars is aggression and drive. Uranus is sudden, erratic change.
Right.
When they square, it's like a spark hitting gasoline.
Volatile how? In terms of money.
Unexpected expenses. The classic life happens tax. This could be a piece of equipment breaking it. Your laptop dies, your car breaks down.
Oh, no.
Or a sudden medical bill.
Mm.
The preparation is boring but necessary. Have an emergency fund ready. Do not spend your last dollar on the redecoration in early February because you might need it for the repair in late February.
That is very practical advice. And you mentioned earlier, with the retrograde in the home sector, real estate is a no-go.
Absolute red flag. I cannot stress this enough. With Mercury retrograde starting February 26 in the sector of home and real estate, do not sign real estate contracts or leases.
Just wait.
Please wait. The danger isn't just a delay. It's hidden clauses. It's unseen property issues.
Yeah.
You sign the lease, and 2 weeks later you find the mold or the noisy neighbors.
Okay, message received. Let's move to something a little spicier. Love and relationships.
All right.
You said Saturn is entering the romance sector, the 5th house. That sounds serious.
It changes the dating game completely. Saturn demands substance. This marks the end of casual flings for Sagittarius. If you've been seeing where it goes, Saturn says, time's up. Decide where it's going.
So for the single Sagittarius, what does the dating pool look like?
They will find themselves attracting partners who are perhaps older or just more serious. Someone who has their life together.
So no more projects.
The bad boy or chaotic free spirit appeal fades. You want someone who shows up on time. You want reliability.
And for couples who are already together, what does this mean for them?
It's about discussing serious topics. Children, long-term creative projects, shared financial responsibilities. It's about building something that lasts.
So it's future-focused.
It's not about just having fun tonight. It's about ensuring we can have fun for the next 10 years.
But it's not all business meetings in the relationship, right? We still have Venus in that home sector.
Right. That creates the cozy vibe we touched on. While Saturn is handling the long-term structure, Venus ensures the day-to-day is affectionate.
Okay, good.
It reinforces cozy gates over loud parties. It creates a feeling that your partner is family. It's deep bonding on the couch.
But we have to talk about February 27th again. Mars square Uranus. It hits the wallet, but it hits relationships too.
It hits the partnership sector hard. Mars represents conflict. Uranus represents freedom and erratic behavior.
That sounds like a breakup cocktail.
It certainly can be. The danger is a sudden demand for freedom or a partner acting in a way you didn't predict. Arguments can flare up out of nowhere.
Wow.
Usually over something trivial that represents a deeper need for space.
And if you add the Mercury retrograde communication failures to that, you've got a real mess.
It's a recipe for chaos. The survival strategy is specific. Do not bring up past family issues. If you are arguing about who forgot to take out the trash, do not bring up what their mothers said 3 years ago.
Oof. Good advice.
Keep it to the present. Maintain a calm home environment. De-escalate.
Okay, let's check in on health and wellness. With all this mental activity, the eclipse, the buzzing mind, how is the body holding up?
The body is buzzing too. The cause is Uranus direct on February 4 in the health sector. The symptom is nervous energy. Restlessness, tapping your foot, inability to sit still. It's like having too much caffeine in the system, astrologically speaking.
So meditation might be hard.
Quiet, seated meditation might be torture. The prescription here is active release, high-intensity interval training, HIIT, trying a new sport. You have to burn the adrenaline or it turns into anxiety.
So move your body.
You need to sweat the energy out.
And sleep, with the eclipse lighting up the brain in the third house.
Sleep issues are very likely. The brain buzzing effect. You lay down, and suddenly you have a new idea for a website. Or you remember a conversation from 10 years ago.
Ugh, the worst.
Insomnia, because the mind won't shut off, is a real risk. You have to be disciplined about limiting screen time before bed. Blue light will just exacerbate the Uranus energy.
I noticed there's a mental health win mentioned, though.
Yes, and it ties back to Saturn. Saturn in the 5th house encourages you to take hobbies seriously. The forecast frames this as essential for well-being, not a waste of time.
Oh, I like that.
Doing the thing you love, whether it's painting, gaming, knitting in a disciplined way, is your therapy this month. It grounds you.
One last warning on physical safety.
February 27 again. Mars square Uranus is a classic aspect for accidents caused by haste.
Oh.
Rushing to work, tripping over the rug, cutting your finger while chopping vegetables because you're looking at your phone.
So the message is just slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Mindfulness. Breathing exercises. The Mercury retrograde adds mental clutter, making you scattered. If you rush, you will get hurt. It's that simple.
Okay, let's wrap up with the cosmic data. I love this part. This is where we get the specifics.
Yes.
Give me the lucky markers.
All right, get your pens ready. The color of the week, or really the power color for the month, is royal purple.
Ooh.
Specifically code #7851A9 if you are a designer or looking for that exact shade. It resonates with the Jupiter Sagittarius frequency.
Very regal. Best dates.
February 10th, that's the moon in Sag. February 16th, that's the lucky Jupiter day we discussed. And February 22.
And lucky numbers.
3, 9, 14, 25, 33, and 48.
Now, compatibility. Who is the Sagittarius looking for this month? Who is the ride or die?
The best match is Leo.
Makes sense. All fire sign.
It's the fire energy compatibility. The full moon in Leo on February 1st sets a tone of fun immediately. They're both optimistic. They share big ideas, especially on that lucky day, February 16th.
And Leo can handle the Saturn heaviness.
That's the key. Even with Saturn making things serious for Sagittarius, Leo has the confidence to lift you up. And when things get emotional and watery in the middle of the month, with all that Pisces energy, Leo keeps it warm.
They bring the sun,
They provide the solar warmth to the Sagittarius fire.
And who should we avoid? Who is the worst match?
Virgo.
Ah, the details, the critique.
It's a clash of styles. They are squaring signs, meaning there is natural tension. But this month, it's exacerbated.
Why specifically this month? What's going on?
Well, the month starts with the moon in Virgo on February 3, which brings a need for boring details that Sagittarius hates right now.
Right.
But then Mercury, Virgo's ruler, goes foggy in Pisces and then retrograde.
So Virgo is trying to analyze the chaos, and Sagittarius just wants to have faith.
Exactly. Virgo tries to fix the domestic chaos with spreadsheets and analysis. Sagittarius just wants to believe it will work out. Virgo gets analysis paralysis from the Saturn energy, while Sagittarius wants to move.
So Sagittarius feels micromanaged.
The result is that Sagittarius feels restricted and annoyed by constant criticism. It's just not the right vibration for February.
Sounds like a match to skip for this specific lunar cycle. Okay, let's unpack this all. We have covered a massive amount of ground.
You really have. We've looked at the mental reboot, the creative discipline, the home sanctuary, and the retrograde chaos.
If we look at the trajectory, it's a month that starts with a mental boom and a cozy home life.
Right.
Transitions into a serious commitment to creativity, and ends with a need for extreme caution and patience.
That is the perfect summary. And it leads to a provocative thought for you, something to chew on as you enter February.
Let's hear it.
We often think of freedom and discipline as opposites, especially Sagittarius, the sign of freedom.
The ultimate free sign.
Right. But with Saturn entering your house of joy, the question is, can you embrace the discipline of Saturn to give form to your creative fire? And can you remain patient enough to weather the domestic storms of the Mercury retrograde? That is the balance beam you are walking. Are you free enough to be disciplined?
It's about using the energy, not just reacting to it. This is a month of mental breakthroughs and serious love, provided you watch your step at the very end.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for breaking this down with us. This has been a fascinating look at February 2026 for Sagittarius.
My pleasure. It was great to talk through it.
And thank you to you, the listener, for tuning into this episode on Horoscope TV. If you want to know what happens in March, or if you want to check out the forecast for the other signs in your life, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified immediately when the next astrological analysis is available. Until next time, keep looking up.